Elena Perez, a 61-year-old woman, had a big problem to solve. She was living in the United States without papers. Her 14-year-old son Miguel was living in El Salvador without her. At that time, El Salvador was ravaged by a civil war, and Mrs. Perez's chief concern was the safety of her son. She took all the money she had saved working at menial jobs in the U.S. and returned to El Salvador. There was no possibility that the U.S. Embassy would grant visas to people like her or to Miguel. Mrs. Perez and Miguel traveled thousands of miles through Central America and Mexico and crossed the border near Tijuana. Instantly, they were apprehended by the Border Patrol and placed in detention. They applied for political asylum in the U.S. and were released on bail. 6 weeks later, Mrs. Perez had a heart attack and died, leaving her son in an unfamiliar country. At that time, Miguel did not speak a word of English. However, Miguel had promised his mother that if she brought him to the United States, he would make something of himself, the way generations of immigrants had done before him. He enrolled in high school, learned English, and became an honor student. He even tutored other students in South Central Los Angeles. He enrolled in a California State University and graduated first in his class. He went on to pursue a PhD from a prestigious university on the East Coast. In the meantime, an immigration judge had denied Miguel's application for political asylum and ordered him deported. The Board of Immigration Appeals denied his appeal. Miguel packed his bags and prepared himself to return to El Salvador. His teachers and friends persuaded him to contact his Congressman Mervyn Dymally. The Congressman asked our law firm to help Miguel. We immediately appealed Miguel's deportation to a federal appeals court. We also called the Los Angeles Times. Miguel's story was featured on the front page of the Times the very next day. Fortunately, we were able to show the federal court that a mistake had been made in Miguel's case. The court sent the case back to an immigration judge for a new hearing. This time, the judge granted Miguel's application for permanent residence. Better yet, we were able to convince the district director of the Los Angeles office of the Immigration Service not to oppose Miguel's application. We held a joint press conference at which the district director presented Miguel with a green card. Today, Miguel is a U.S. citizen, and both he and his wife are distinguished university professors. We are very proud of Miguel and are pleased that we were able to play a part in helping him to remain in the United States and to contribute his enormous talents to our country. Miguel Perez is truly a remarkable American.